Let's be brutally honest. The moment you sleep with her for the first time, something shifts. Not just in your mind, but in hers. And if you think it's all about performance and pleasure, you're already behind. Most men walk out of that first night feeling like they've scored, like they've conquered something. But what they don't realize is, that's when the real game begins. Because whether she says it or not, she's thinking. She's calculating. She's observing. And the truth? That first time means more to her psychology than it ever will to yours. Not because women are emotional and men are logical, that's outdated. It's because most women have learned through experience that sex isn't just about pleasure. It's about meaning, about value exchange, about signals. And whether you like it or not, she's judging everything, from how you took your time to how you carried yourself after. Now here's where it gets controversial. Sleeping with her doesn't increase your value, it tests it. That's right. For her, sex is not a reward she gives you, it's the beginning of her evaluation. While most men think they've already won her over, she's watching to see what kind of man you are after the act. And here's the kicker. She often decides whether she wants to keep you or cut you off based on what you do in the next 12 hours. Sounds harsh? It is. But that's the reality most men were never taught. We've all heard the phrase post-nut clarity. But what about her clarity? What goes through her mind once the clothes are back on, the lights are off, and the silence creeps in? Most men assume women are just basking in the glow of connection, but in many cases, she's already running an emotional audit. Was he confident or was he cocky? Did he respect me or just use me? Do I feel closer to him or used? Is he different or just another guy chasing a body count? You see, while you were busy trying to impress her in bed, she was scanning for something deeper. Emotional intelligence, social maturity, personal power. She's not just reacting to the pleasure, she's processing how you made her feel as a person. Because here's the part most guys never think about. The bedroom reveals more than your moves. It exposes your mindset. Let that sink in. Did you rush it? Did you check in on how she felt? Did you immediately grab your phone afterward? Or did you hold space for her in the moment? These micro decisions tell her whether you're a boy or a man. And trust me, she notices everything. Now, if you're the type of guy who thinks this is overanalyzing, or that women are too emotional, here's your wake-up call. You're playing chess with someone who's been trained by life to see 10 moves ahead. And if you don't understand that, you'll keep getting ghosted, ignored, or categorized as just a fun time. But if you do understand it, if you're intentional, aware, and self-respecting, you become unforgettable. Not because of how long you lasted or how smooth your lines were, but because of how you handled the moment after. Here's something that'll trigger a few fragile egos. Most men don't know how to handle a woman emotionally after intimacy. They know how to flirt, seduce, chase, and even charm. But when it comes to creating emotional safety, they collapse. They pull away, become awkward, or act like it meant nothing. Because deep down they're scared of vulnerability. They think detachment is masculine. That acting cool means they're in control. But what they don't realize is, she's clocking all of that. That's why some women can have incredible physical chemistry with a man and still walk away feeling nothing, because he didn't make her feel seen. And others can have a simple, calm moment with a man and never forget it, because he carried emotional depth. He wasn't trying to win, he was trying to connect. So here's what this video is really about. Not how to impress her in bed, but how to show up like a man afterwards, and what that teaches her about who you really are. Because if you get this part wrong, nothing else matters. You can't fake emotional intelligence. You can't perform integrity. And in 2025, when women have options, intuition, and emotional awareness, being clueless about what she thinks after sex isn't just weak. It's dangerous to your value. Now, I'm going to break this down for you in 5 simple parts. Each one will show you exactly what she's thinking, why she's thinking it, and how you can respond like a grounded, high-value man, instead of another player who doesn't even know he's being judged. Ready? Let's get into it. You just had sex with her. The tension, the build-up, the excitement, it's over. Maybe you're lying next to her. Maybe you're scrolling your phone. Maybe you're in the bathroom washing your face, feeling like the man. But here's the part most men never realize. At that exact moment, she's thinking something she'll probably never say out loud. Did he just use me? Now she might smile. She might laugh. She might act like everything's cool. But trust me, inside her head, a quiet voice is running a full background check. And the very first question on that list is whether or not you saw her as a person, or just a body. Why is this her first thought? Because in her world, being used is a risk she's learned to protect herself from. Whether it came from past experiences, fake situationships, or guys who sweet-talk their way into her body just to vanish the next day, women learn early that some men are masters of disguise. So right after that first time, even if everything felt amazing, even if she initiated it, she's still watching. Because sex, for her, isn't just physical. It's psychological. It's emotional. And the way you handle the moments after says more than the act itself. Now here's where most guys mess it up without even knowing it. They go silent. They change energy. They joke too much to keep it casual. They grab their phone like it's a shield. Or worse, they start acting like she's just there. And in her head, that's confirmation. Yep, he just used me. This doesn't mean she expected a proposal. It doesn't mean she wanted to start planning wedding colors. It means she expected respect, presence, a sign that you're still emotionally grounded and not just treating her like a trophy you finally claimed. Because once a woman feels used, everything changes. Her walls go up. Her tone shifts. She starts calculating her next move. And sometimes she'll even act like nothing's wrong, just to study your next move more carefully. Now let's be real. Sometimes guys don't mean to make her feel that way. They might just be nervous, or unsure, or not trained to handle emotional weight after sex. But guess what? Intent doesn't matter. Impact does. And if she feels discarded, forgotten, or like just another notch on the belt, your chances of seeing her again are already evaporating. You want to know the difference between the guy she forgets and the one she craves? It's how he makes her feel after. And here's something that will shake your ego. Even if you were amazing in bed, even if she climaxed 3 times, even if the connection felt electric, none of that matters if she walks away feeling disrespected. Because sex isn't about the moves you make, it's about the message you send. And in those first few moments after, your message is either, "You matter to me beyond your body," or, "Now that I got what I wanted, you can go." And no, you don't need to say that directly. Your actions say it for you. So what do? You stay present, you listen, you check in with her, you don't rush, you don't grab your phone, you don't joke your way out of intimacy. You show her that her presence is still valuable even after the climax. Let me give you something real. Imagine this. A woman goes home with 2 different guys in the same month, just once each. Both were charming, both were attractive, both had great chemistry with her. Guy A finishes, rolls over, checks his phone, laughs at a meme, and says, "That was fun." She smiles politely, but something inside her closes. She leaves an hour later. He never hears from her again. Guy B finishes, holds her for a few minutes, looks her in the eye and says, "That was beautiful." He doesn't force a deep conversation, but he listens. He's present. He's still the same confident guy, but now grounded. Guess who stays on her mind for weeks? Guess who gets a second invite? Guess who gets talked about to her friends? It's not the one who smashed the best. It's the one who made her feel safe, seen, and valued when it mattered most. After. Because when a woman asks herself, "Did he just use me?" she doesn't answer it based on how you flirted or how good your game was. She answers it based on how you made her feel when the masks came off and the moment was over. So if you want to be the man she respects, not the mistake she regrets, don't just focus on getting her into bed. Focus on how you carry yourself once she's in it. That's where real value shows up. That's when you separate yourself from 90% of guys out here who are still clueless about how women truly think. Let's make one thing clear from the start. Every woman is comparing you to someone, not in a toxic or petty way, but because her brain is wired to detect patterns, especially when it comes to men and relationships. The moment you sleep with her, she subconsciously puts you through a silent test, one she's run dozens of times before. And it sounds like this. Is he like all the others? Now, who are the others? They're not just her exes. They're the guys who played games, the ones who talked a big game, acted smooth, got what they wanted, and then vanished. They're the ones who made her feel special for a night, but treated her like an option the next day. This test isn't about ego. It's about protection. Because once a woman opens up to you physically, her guard is already down, whether she wants it to be or not. And if you act like you're cut from the same cloth as the last guy who disappointed her, you instantly lose value. Here's the controversial part. Most men fail this test without even knowing they're being tested. Why? Because they think the job is done once they've slept with her. But in her mind, that's when your real personality gets revealed. See, women have a sixth sense for patterns. The way you talk, how consistent you are, how you treat her after sex, it all gets measured against a library of past experiences. You may think you're one of a kind. But if your actions echo what the last 3 guys did before ghosting her, guess what? She already knows how your story ends. And here's where it stings. She may not even wait around to confirm it. If your energy shifts, if your effort drops, if your attitude changes even slightly, she'll assume you're just another actor playing a short-term role. Now you might be thinking, but I'm not like those guys? Maybe not. But ask yourself this. What are you doing that actually proves that? Are you consistent after intimacy? Do you still treat her like someone you value? Or like a box you've already checked? Do you talk to her with respect? Or does your tone get colder now that you've been there? Let's break it down real simple. Women don't just listen to what you say. They pay attention to how you shift. And if your behavior after sex feels identical to a guy who was just chasing a quick win, you've already lost points. Let's make this real. A woman sleeps with a guy she's been talking to for weeks. He was charming, patient, even sweet. He said all the right things, made her feel like he genuinely cared. They sleep together. The next day he texts, but slower, doesn't call. His tone is more casual, no more compliments, no check-ins. She sees the pattern immediately. In her head, yep, same script, different actor. She might smile, she might even respond, but emotionally, she's already pulling away. Because the truth is, she didn't need him to be perfect. She needed him to be different. Now let's flip it. Another guy sleeps with her. Same situation, same chemistry. But the next day, he checks in. Not clingy, just consistent. Still treats her with the same energy. Still shows presence. Still makes her feel like more than a body. Even if he's not in love, even if he's still figuring things out. He stays respectful, grounded, and clear. In her mind, he's not like the others. And once she believes that, her whole attitude toward you shifts. You become rare, you become valuable, and most importantly, you become unforgettable. Because here's what women crave that most men overlook. Authenticity plus consistency. It's not about flowers or flashy moves. It's about being emotionally real and staying that way after you get what you want. So if you want to pass the comparison test, drop the act, drop the ego, show up the same way before and after intimacy. That's what sets you apart. That's what she remembers. Because being different isn't about what you tell her. It's about how you make her feel when her guard is down, and whether or not you honor that vulnerability. And if you don't think she's measuring you against every guy who came before you, let me say it plainly, she absolutely is. So show her through your actions that you're not in that category. Be the man who doesn't just break the pattern, be the man who rewrites it. Let's keep it real. Sex doesn't automatically equal connection. Every man knows it. And guess what? So does she. But here's the difference. After that first time, she's not just thinking about how it felt. She's silently checking your energy, evaluating your attitude, asking herself a simple but heavy question. Does he respect me now that he's had me? Because truthfully, a lot of women have been in situations where everything felt good, right up until the clothes went back on. That shift in energy, even if it's subtle, doesn't go unnoticed. And whether you realize it or not, you're being emotionally audited. No, she's not expecting you to worship her. She's not looking for love at first thrust. But what she is watching for is how your behavior shifts after intimacy. Do you still look at her the same way? Do you still talk to her with the same attention, tone, and intention? Or do you now act like the mission's complete and you can switch off? See, respect after sex doesn't come from sweet words or fake compliments. It comes from how you treat her when there's no longer a goal in sight. Because when the chase is over, your true nature shows. And for her, that's when the truth hits. Was I just something to do, or someone he sees value in? Let's not play. Women feel everything. The way you look at her, the speed in your voice, the pause in your touch, the change in your rhythm. She notices it all, whether she mentions it or not. So when you suddenly act colder, detached, less present, it sends a clear message. I got what I wanted, and now I'm back to me. And that's the part that stings the most. Because even if she wanted it too, even if she fully consented, even if she had no expectations of a relationship, that doesn't mean she wants to feel disposable. Nobody does. Respect in that moment isn't about promises or labels. It's about consistency. It's about the guy who doesn't treat her differently now that sex is out of the way. Because the truth is, respect is shown most clearly when there's nothing left to gain. And here's where a lot of guys unknowingly sabotage themselves. They confuse casual with careless. They think being chill means showing less interest. They avoid connection so they don't give her the wrong idea. But what they're really doing is proving that they don't know how to handle intimacy without guilt, fear, or ego. The moment you start acting weird, distant, or overly dry after sex, she picks up on it. And even if she doesn't call it out, trust, she's adjusting how she sees you. Because whether it was a one-night situation or the start of something deeper, how you handle her afterwards tells her everything she needs to know about you. So what's the move? Stay solid, stay respectful, be clear, still look her in the eyes, still acknowledge her presence, still speak with intention. You don't need to make false promises or act more invested than you are. You just need to stay honest and grounded. That alone separates you from 90% of men out here who treat women like they're only worthy of kindness before they give it up. At the end of the day, the real question isn't, did you impress her in bed? It's, do you carry yourself in a way that shows she's still a human being, not just a moment you wanted to collect? Because the way you treat her after the act, that's where the respect is either confirmed or destroyed. Here's a cold truth that might sting a bit. Most men don't realize how predictable they've become. The pattern is almost laughable at this point. Show interest, build tension, get what you want, and vanish like a ghost with Wi-Fi issues. Now, if you're already offended, good. That means this part is for you. Because if you're the kind of guy who checks out emotionally the moment things get physical, you're not playing the game like a man. You're playing it like a boy. See, after intimacy, most women aren't asking for a lifetime commitment. What they are asking, silently, is whether they were just a moment or a choice. And yes, there's a massive difference. When she asks herself, will he stay or disappear? She's not talking about moving in, building a future, or starting a family. She's asking if you're going to stay consistent, if you're going to keep showing up with clarity, honesty, and basic respect. Or if now that you've gotten what you wanted, you're going to slowly pull back, start replying late, acting cold, dodging plans, until you're completely out of the picture. And here's the thing. Women already expect that from most men. That's the problem. You're not surprising her when you fade away. You're just proving her point. Now ask yourself, is that the kind of man you really want to be? Because the loyalty trigger isn't just about sticking around. It's about emotional maturity. It's about being the kind of guy who can enjoy the moment without pretending like she suddenly means nothing. It's about being real enough to say what you want. not just take what you can get and vanish. Let's not lie. A lot of men don't disappear because they lost interest. They disappear because they were never honest to begin with. They said whatever was necessary to make her feel chosen. They played the role. They gave just enough energy to unlock the moment, and the second they got it, they were out. That's not power. That's fear wearing confidence as a mask. And women can see it now. They've seen the game. They've lived it. So when you follow that same lazy script, you're not being slick, you're just being basic. So here's some advice that might actually elevate you. If you're not looking for anything serious, that's fine. But say it. Let her decide if she wants to engage with that level of honesty, and if you are interested, then show it. Not through dramatic texts or love bombing, but through simple consistency. Through being the same guy after sex that you were before. Because the loyalty trigger doesn't activate because you made her feel good in bed. It activates because you made her feel like she wasn't just a pit stop on your way to the next distraction. So wake up. Stop thinking women are overreacting when they ask questions or pull back. They've seen too many guys vanish to keep assuming you're different just because you smiled and said the right things. If you don't want to stay, cool. But at least be man enough to exit with honesty. Don't ghost her like a coward and think that's strength. It's not. It's a reflection of your emotional immaturity. And if you do want to keep her around, don't make her second guess herself. Because once she feels like she has to chase your attention, you've already lost her. After the laughter fades, the heat cools down, and the silence settles in, she's left with one final question in her mind. Was this worth it? This isn't a dramatic moment. She's not crying in the shower or planning a TED talk about betrayal. It's more subtle than that. It's a quiet calculation, an internal scorecard. And whether you realize it or not, you're being measured. Now here's where most guys get it twisted. They think worth it is about performance, about how long they lasted, how freaky it got, or how loud she was. Wrong. Worth it is about how she felt about herself after it was over. Did she feel respected or reduced? Valued or used? Seen or just played? Because here's the hard truth. A woman can enjoy the physical part and still regret the experience emotionally. And if you were more focused on proving yourself than connecting with her, if you rushed it, acted like she owed you something, or pulled away the second you were done, you already answered her question for her. No, not every woman wants a relationship. No, not every woman expects deep commitment from a first encounter. But what every woman does want is to feel like she made the right call, that her decision to share herself wasn't met with emptiness or immaturity. And if, after it all, you act like you've won and she's no longer important, if your energy drops, your attention disappears, and your vibe shifts, she's going to walk away with one word in her chest: mistake. But if you carried yourself like a man, confident, grounded, and emotionally clear, if you gave her presence, respect, and honesty, she'll walk away with a different thought entirely. That was worth it. He's different. And in a world full of men who just take, perform, and dip, being different is the one thing that sticks. Let's end this with something most people will never say out loud, but needs to be said. Sleeping with a woman doesn't make you more of a man, but how you treat her afterward reveals exactly what kind of man you really are. Read that again. The real flex isn't getting her into bed. That's easy. What's rare, what's truly powerful, is being the kind of man who can lead with intent, clarity, and consistency even after the heat fades. Because anybody can act sweet when they want something, but only a real one stays solid when there's nothing left to gain. You see, the modern dating world is filled with noise, fake confidence, lazy effort, recycled game, and empty gestures. But women, they've evolved, they've been through it, they're paying attention now more than ever. So if you think you're standing out because you got her number, made her laugh, or hooked up with her, you're wrong. She's met 10 of you already. The only thing that separates you is how you show up afterward. Are you grounded? Or are you just another sweet talker who folds under pressure? Are you honest? Or are you hiding behind charm because you're afraid of real connection? Are you the kind of man she'll remember with peace or regret? Because here's the part no one tells you. After that first night, she might not even care if it was casual, but she will care if it was careless. Let that sink in. And if all of this has you thinking deeper, good. That's the point. Because the goal isn't to impress women. It's to become a man who naturally commands respect. Because you live by principles, not impulses. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me the realest experience you've had after intimacy, good or bad. What changed? What did you learn? Or maybe, what did you regret? I'll be going through your stories personally. If your comment hits, I'll respond. Maybe even start a deeper conversation from there. Because this channel isn't just about game, it's about growth. And if you've been coasting through these moments thinking none of this matters, it's time to wake up. Because how you treat her after that moment says everything about the man you really are.